Tonight on FBC News, we've done our part. Now it's your turn. Water Authority warns customers. Revelations of bus fare voucher scam in all major centres. And hundreds turn out at FBC's Bulla FM Bash. Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. The Water Authority of Fiji will now be coming down hard on those who owe them money. Following government's waiver of $134 million in outstanding bills, the authority says it's time that customers start paying up. From now on, if you're past your payment due date, your meter will be disconnected. Eleanor Turangaiviu has more.
The Water Authority of Fiji will now be more strict with water bill payments, and according to the CEO, Opetai Rawai, if you don't pay, the service stops.
That applies for any service provider, whether it's water, electricity, telecommunications, or a bus fare. You can't get into a bus without paying.
Rawai says they do not want to be put into the same situation they are in now, where millions of dollars in outstanding bills had to be written off.
We don't want to get to the same predicament we are in right now, because the negligence of the processes in the past, they did not disconnect people, you know, when they had a $50 bill, for example. Then they built up that bill, and then when it was 500, for example, then when it disconnect, they said, why didn't you disconnect me earlier? I could have paid that $50.
Whatever your bill amount is, word from the main water body is clear. Disconnections will happen.
Does not really matter what the amount is. If it's up for disconnection, we will disconnect. But usually, if it's a $5 bill or a $7 bill, really, there's no reason why people cannot pay that.
Rawai says if people can afford luxury items, then surely they can afford to pay their bills.
You see people recharge their phones every day. You see people buy grog every day. So we just want to send out a message that prioritize your water bill, because without water, your life is just uncomfortable.
The authority claims that it offers the cheapest service anywhere in the world, where 1,000 litres of water costs only 15 cents. The only thing a customer has to do is prioritize and pay your bill on time. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Still with water, and people of Nawai Dhomba outside Nandi are seeking answers from the Water Authority regarding their services. Speaking to FBC News, residents of the community claim they've been facing water problems for some years, and despite their complaints to the authority, nothing's being done. Apisala Medoka reports.
People of Nawai Dhomba claim they have been facing water problems for a few years now. And in those years, they say water is only available in their taps between 3 and 5 in the morning.
In many areas, we don't have a water supply, but the bill still comes. We want the government and the minister to do something about it.
FBC News came across a wedding when we visited this area. What's seen here is a water tank that these families had to hire for $50 a day.
I built my house in Sunai Sali almost a year ago, and since then we have faced this problem. Water sometimes comes at 4 a.m. and we have to wake up and fill the buckets, but for the past 5 days there has been no water at all.
When approached, the Water Authority of Fiji said they did not receive any complaint from the area but are now working to address the problem. Apisala Medoka, FBC News.
A coordinated search and rescue operation led by the Fiji Navy has seen the successful rescue of a French national whose yacht was sinking off Noumea. According to Navy Commander John Fox, they received the distress call yesterday morning. After sending out distress messages, fishing vessels Solander 2 and Solander 4 affirmed they were nearest to the sinking yacht. Solander 4 arrived at the scene at about 4:30 in the afternoon and rescued the 79-year-old French national, but could not recover the yacht. The ship will call into port in Suva on Monday, where the men will be met by immigration and customs officials.